So we started out as kids in our backyard, probably like a lot of you guys might have, and making little short films and having fun. At first, it was more about fun. And then as we got into the game, we started to realize that it's actually a business. It's not just going out having fun, which actually led to us getting into the music business for a little bit. And we did that for about 10 years. We were actually hip-hop rappers.
That's when we did our backflips off the stage.
And if you ask me to do some rapping, I'm not going to do it for you because those days are gone. But we chased that for a very long time, and we got signed to a deal, and we ended up getting shelved as artists.
And there's a big thing that we learned throughout that we were going to explain here.
Yeah. So in the music business, when that kind of fell apart, we had to kind of rethink our strategy. We didn't really know what we wanted to do. We started off, we did film as kids, and we met some friends, and we were like, hey, let's put together an entertainment company. We all had some music experience, and which led to us starting Iris Entertainment. Now, Iris Entertainment, there was 4 of us in this company. Now, we did weddings, we did corporate, we didn't really do much films yet. It was more corporate, weddings, and then music videos and things like that. So we did that for a little bit. And we started to build up this company, and then we started to get back into film again. We started that bug hit us again. You know, like a lot of us were like, why are we doing this? Why are we making films?
Yeah,
it's such a hard process, you know?
Our true passion is in films. So we got to figure this game out here.
Yeah.
That was our biggest thing. Let's figure it out. So we did our first short film, Love Struck,
which we won some awards for. We won Best Actor and Best Villain.
He won Best Actor, by the way. He's an actor as well.
I'm not an actor. I used to be. So we won some awards, and we actually made that film for that. We were like, we want to go out, and we want to see if we can make a film and win some awards with it. And we were just still having fun. We were still at that fun stage. So we did that. We made the film, won some awards, and we actually met one of our first mentors during this process who funded our first feature, which was House Guest, starring Alex Vincent from Child's Play. 1 and 2, the Chucky movies, which we kind of fell into that way. So we'll tell you that story. But the film that we did, Love Struck, led to House Guest, which was our feature, which ultimately led to us being involved in a movie called Apple of My Eye, starring Burt Reynolds and Amy Smart, which was filmed in Sarasota, which I was a co-producer and first AD on. So enough about us. We're going to go to the first part of the steps that we kind of broke down that kind of led to us, getting into this. So the first part is investing in yourself. How many of you guys in here actually invest in yourself? How many of you guys actually read, and you guys read books and stuff like that? What do you guys read books on?
Literature, poetry.
Poetry? Okay, very artsy. There we get the artsy one. Okay.
History.
Okay. Which is good. Okay,
and you're mainly a screenwriter. Are you a screenwriter?
We do everything.
Okay.
We've done one film. So.
Okay. Feature or short? Short film. Cool. Cool.
Developing a couple of features like in script development.
Okay. Nice. And one thing about us, we're very do it yourself in a certain way. You know, get it done. Don't wait for anybody else. So if you guys are like that, you're definitely going to like the model that we try to pitch. Because I hear this all the time. I don't have funding, right? I don't have gear. I can't get a name actor on my stuff. And we found just taking these steps actually work if you just start moving instead of thinking about it. You know, if you just start moving forward, it's like, oh man, Alex Vincent wants to be, he'll write our script. Or, you know, oh yeah, you want to be in Burt Reynolds' movie? Because you want to work on a Burt Reynolds movie? Yeah, you know. So those little things we want to start by, which we didn't realize it. Now we're deciphering it. We're realizing it. It was a lot of, the first part of it was investing in ourselves. We did a lot of that. So we did a lot of reading on sales and business and marketing, and realizing that, okay, this is a business. And we dissected how do the very top make it. And it's usually they either hooked up with somebody that was business, or they either sells for business. So I want to suggest reading, doing what you're doing now, taking workshops, videos online, just try to absorb so much information.
What are some really good books that touched you guys that you've read? Like any good books?
That changed your life, maybe. Anybody that read a book that just changed their life?
What was it? What was that about?
Mental patients.
Okay.
Okay. So was it fiction, nonfiction?
Nonfiction.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
fiction, but it was told in the first person view of the mental patient.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to recommend two books to you that I read that changed my life. At the time, I was making like $8.25 an hour. I was working as a security guard, believe it or not. I was working as a security officer. I had my first daughter, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was living with my mother-in-law at the time too, and that was hard.
Yeah.
So, and we realized this is 90% business, 10% art. I'm sorry, I know you're in the art, but it's this how it is. So, two books I recommend is one called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I don't know if any of you guys ever read that. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And he has some great stuff in there that really start getting your mind on the business aspect and little things that can really help you. And then Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Because you want to be more than a filmmaker.
Yes.
Why not? So if you want to make films, you guys all are filmmakers and want to make films, correct? Is that what's happening? Do you guys all know how to run a camera? Okay, so you do know how to run a camera.
Good plus. Good plus.
See, yeah, I seen him running the camera back there. Is that your camera? Yes. You own that camera, and you have made a film or no?
Have I made a film?
Yeah.
I've worked on 3 films, but I'm a camera operator by trade. So.
Okay.
You're a camera operator. Same here. I'm a cinematographer. I came from a DP director background.
Yeah.
So I'm able to run camera. I can get hired to run camera.
And that's one of the ideas of thinking as a business. Develop skills that can pay you to do what you love. So if you're a writer, figure out, okay, well, how can I do this? Maybe I can do blogs for people. I could start getting paid. Maybe I'm talking about film in these blogs. You know what I mean? So little things like that, you start thinking like that. You're making money now doing what you love, and it's able to fund your projects. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of working your 9 to 5, you're in the industry you like.
Yeah.
I made so many connections being in the film industry. Every weekend, I'm doing something video. I'm doing something video. During the week, I'm doing something video. I'm meeting connections through video. Therefore, I'm meeting connections through film.
Yeah.
So I don't sit in a cubicle. I self-promote myself. I do all my own stuff. I run my camera. I do all that stuff. I can direct. I can edit. So being more than a filmmaker is that's kind of what you want to do.
Yeah. And one of the things we want to do is we want to make you well-rounded with what we're talking about. So it's not just like in one area, We want you to be well-rounded as a person. So when you are dealing with the distributors or you're dealing with an actor, you know how to handle them, if things go off course a little bit. So one thing I'm going to suggest learning is sales. How many of you guys know sales?
People, it's a touchy subject.
Not a used cars dealer sales.
I'll tell you a story. There's no kids in here. I'd be shitting my pants right now 5 years ago, me being up here talking to you guys. But I developed skills, whether it's sales skills, marketing skills, that got me here. I'm an introvert. I'm ultimately an introvert. I usually don't talk, do this kind of stuff. I do now because I've learned. I can communicate with actors better as a director. So if I'm walking into trying to sell myself, he's a camera operator. If he's selling himself as a camera operator, hey, I'm a camera operator, I can help you. If he can't talk to somebody, or if he can't communicate, how is he gonna get the job?
Yeah.
So it all comes back around.
You got to be able to sell. And there's 2 books I want to recommend. And one is Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. Right, he goes by GC. He's on the internet. He's got a lot of internet stuff. So if you guys just like videos, that's one way to get it. And The Philosophy of Selling by Brian Tracy. That's
Hey,
another one.
do you guys know who Brian Tracy is? Heard of
Brian Tracy? Great salesman.
Yeah,
So let me ask you guys something. Quentin Tarantino, Playboy, Kevin Smith, Coke. What do they all have in common? Yep. Marketing and branding. You guys got to understand that if you're a business, you got to market and brand yourself. We're in the new age. We're in the digital age, no matter how you look at it. So marketing and branding is so important because if you think of, I'll tell you a story. I was watching a movie, actually with my brother and my daughters. We were watching this movie. I got 3 girls and 1 on the way, believe it or not. So I have 4.
Family man.
Yeah. So we're watching this movie, and I'm like, man, this really feels like a Robert Rodriguez movie, right? and it was Shark Boy and Lava Girl, I think it was, something like that.
He's seen it. He's
Yeah, he knows what we're talking about. So we're watching it, and I'm like, and then we looked it up, and we're like, it really was.
You know, because Robert does these quick dolly shots in. It's like, okay, that's Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. So I mean, so he created a style and a brand that people know. You know, like Quentin Tarantino, Steven Spielberg's. These guys created a style. You know, they created a brand. So we're going to tell you guys, like, really try to figure out maybe what's your style, what's your brand, what's your niche, you know, and go for that niche.
So if it's horror, if it's sci-fi, if it's a Christian film, if it's like poetry.
And so the last part of investing in yourself, we're going to say try to get into a little bit of self-development, you know, and there's a couple of books because you want to develop good habits, you know. You want to try to work on this every day. You know, put a couple hours aside, even if you're working your day job, you know, come home and say, okay, I'm going to focus on maybe 3 hours extra a day or maybe 10 hours a week, and I'm going to devote to my craft. I'm going to devote to what I love. So really try to develop good habits, because what will happen over time, these habits will become like rituals. Like you'll do it every day without thinking because it becomes a habit.
Yeah, I got to the point where I did an event last night till around 10 o'clock, then I came home and I spent 2 hours just watching videos, content that I liked, the guys that I like, mentors that I like. Just 2 hours, you know what I mean?
Everything's at our fingertips. It's so awesome nowadays. Like you can literally type in, like they were talking on the panel, you could type in anything on the internet and you'll like, now some of the answers you got to be careful with. You got to decipher through, find the people that are actually doing it or in it and doing it. So one book is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Okay, that's a good one. And that's by, I believe, Brian Tracy, right?
That's not Brian Tracy.
No? We'll just leave it at that. And then How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a good way of just, because a lot of people, I know we're talking a lot, like us right now, we're talking a lot, and we're not getting to know you guys that much. But you guys are here to kind of absorb some information. So when you're in the room with somebody, ask them questions. Figure out what their passions are. Figure out who they are, because that will develop a relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? And you want to develop relationships in this industry. That's going to be your biggest key. Develop relationships in this industry. That's what, you know, led to a lot of the stuff we do. You want to talk a little bit about mindset? So the next part, we're going to talk about mindset. And maybe kind of finding your why. Why are you doing this? You know, because that's going to be your motivating factor. You know, that's really going to push you every day. That's really going to make you want to get up every day and say, why am I doing this?
Because you guys probably know how hard this business is. It's like roadblock, 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 roadblock. You might look up and say, actually, I've came a long way. We've done that multiple times.
Yeah.
That's, okay, why do we want to do this? And we have a bigger why that's huge. Our why is huge, right? You want your why to be huge.
Yeah,
you know
you want to set a big goal.
Boom. You want that goal so big that it's almost unreachable.
Like us, our why, our biggest goal is to be a studio. We want to be at Warner Brothers. We want to build backlots. We want to be like Universal. We want to have a backlot. You know, like that's our big goal. Like that's our why. Like you got to set it so high that if you do land in the middle, like Robert Rodriguez per se, his big why, he says, I'm going to go make a feature film, and I'm going to try to get it distributed through the Mexican and Latin market. And for him at the time, he was in school, so this was huge, you know. And he went out and made the film, and he ended up not getting distributed, but he got discovered. You know what I'm saying? So have that why so big, so if you do land in the middle somewhere, it's not terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most people set their goals too low. So back on touching exorbitant information, you know, most people just, hey, look at me, look what I do. Look at my film. I have so much knowledge. Look at all this stuff. Why? Why do that? You can. It's kind of like being a superhero. You can literally. I can talk to him. I can extract knowledge from him, and I can put it in me. I didn't realize I did this. I've always kind of was like I said, was laid back, very introvert, and I would just ask people questions because I didn't know what else to do. Hey, so what do you do? And I would, you know, that's cool, and I would almost just vibe with it. You play guitar? Very cool. Cool. What do you know about it? What can you show me? I can literally suck the information from them, put it in me. So why try to, hey, look what I can do. I'm really good at this. I can do this. Cool. Honestly, most people don't care. Realistically,
Most people want to talk about themselves,
most
to be
people want
real.
to talk about themselves. I know we're up here talking, but you guys are here to listen to us. You guys are here to listen to us. So this is the excuse that we found that we could actually speak. You guys will stay and listen. Hopefully, don't leave.
Talk a little bit.
So we call it kind of like be like a sponge. Don't be. she's
Don't
funny.
be like a faucet.
Don't be like a
Yeah,
faucet
yeah.
and just spew stuff out. Soak everything in. Hey, what do you do? Poetry. That's awesome. What can I find? I don't know about poetry. What can I find out about poetry that he knows? Right? I can learn new things. So you want to absorb the information into you. Take that in. That's huge. And us through our journey, we realized that, and it was like a big epiphany. Like, oh, and that goes back to How to Win Friends and Influence People. Please read that book.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Yeah, and then also when you're watching movies and study the big movies, find out, decipher through what makes this movie work. Like, why is this movie getting so much attention? Like Deadpool, why did it get so much attention? There's a certain marketing, a certain thing they did to touch on people's emotions there. So decipher through this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Decipher through it and try to figure out what's the engine behind it that's pushing it, and you'll find out a lot about, well, maybe I can emulate that somehow. Everything's been done, you know what I'm saying? Like every type of movie for the most part has been done. So how can I take what works and then kind of make it my own, How can I create my own still at the same time? So that's one thing.
So doing this, we would have, we'd go do a film, we would drive home, and then we would just chat about it. And that's how we figured this out.
We'd decipher through.
Why didn't this work? Why did this work? Okay, this is working. We're getting better. We're doing one. We keep progressing. It's not failing. We just keep learning, keep progressing.
This is
That's
a progression. This is a big progression. And then we're gonna say, like I said earlier, study the greats. I'm sure you probably if you're reading poetry,
That's part of it.
Okay.
One of my favorite film directors is Dreyer.
Okay.
Theodore Dreyer.
Okay.
Black and white work from the 30s. It's
Cool.
incredible.
Unique. That's cool. And then maybe you can use some of that in your style. That's awesome. Yeah. So definitely find out what works. And I'm going to say this, and I know this might hurt people and might get them mad at me, but I'm just going to say it. Don't be a starving artist. I hear this all the time because people can say what they want about money. Money gives you options. Money, if I got $6 million in my bank account, I can find 10 young filmmakers and make all their dreams come true, right? And help them. So being a starving artist doesn't give you any options. You can't do that. You can't help people. You can't work with people. You're at your day job 9 to 5 and you're stuck there and you're saying, I wish I could go make my film. I wish I could make my film. I can't. So that's one of the things we're going to say. Don't be a starving artist.
Well, a big thing with that is, to touch on that,
What?
everybody knows Arnold, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger? Everybody knows Arnold. Before Arnold made it, he made it with the bodybuilding. Before he did movies, he was around 30. He was already a millionaire.
Yeah.
He had options, so he didn't just take on any role. He said that, I'm a leading man. I'm a leading man. I'm a leading man. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Universe. Now I'm a leading man in acting. I'm not just going to take extra roles. I'm not doing it.
He turned
I'm not going to do supporting roles. I have money. This is what I want. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that's huge, having options, and because we did music for a long time.
Yeah.
And we thought, okay, we have to be broke. This is what we have to do.
It kind of kept us broke.
It kept us down, and we felt like, because we did hip hop.
And in the rap game, you think like Eminem. I'm going to be like Eminem. I'm going to make it from the gutter. You don't want to stay in the gutter. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we say be more than the starving artist, you guys. And one thing too is you attract what you think about. So try to think positive. Try to stay motivated with what you do, and things that you think about will happen to you. If you're out there looking for it, if you're putting it out there, things will come to you if you just start moving and you're moving towards it. You're moving towards those goals. I promise you, it happened every project we've started, it happened the same way. Meeting Alex Vincent in our neighborhood, it was just crazy. But those type of things will come in. And we're going to tell you to make your worst movie.
You guys made a feature film yet? Have anybody? You made one already? Okay,
Nice,
cool.
Nice. Are you proud of it?
Did you make?
Cool. How did it do?
Well, I got picked up by 81st out of Seattle,
Nice.
Okay.
and then toured around with it, went to festivals, and then I sort of done with the distribution of it and released it maybe on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Is there things about it you would change? Looking back on it?
For the experience, no.
Okay.
How young
See?
I was when I did that.
That's what it's about. And that's what we want to teach. As first time, just make your film. Just make it. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to want to change things. We look back at our stuff, oh man, but it's a progression, you know? This is a progression that you're going to get better. It's almost like saying, okay, I'm going to build this hotel, and I've never built before. I'm going to build a multi-million-dollar motel, right? And I've never done it before. Start small, but think big. Make your project, even if it's on a small scale. You can self-distribute. There's so many different options, and you can hit the festival circuit with it, and you can get it out there like this gentleman did. He went out there and got it. He's proud of it because of the experience that he went through. Now, I would say do it again, but expand. Now you got to do it a little bigger, and each time you do it, you're going to get bigger, bigger, bigger. You know, so it's almost like starting with, okay, I'm going to build the dog house first, and then I'm going to build the shed, and I'm going to build a garage, and then a house, right?
And
so it's
by
just building
doing
up.
that, you're building a solid foundation. Now you know how to do that. So he runs camera. Why don't you can make a film right now? Do you edit? You obviously probably edit. What's stopping you from making a film right now?
Just slow. You know, the biggest mindset is, for me, because I freelance in the industry, I'm seeing things bigger. So it's like, I can't do this by myself. I need help.
Okay, we'll keep going. Okay. Okay, no, I get that.
All right.
And we're
I
gonna
would say
touch on-
this too. I'd say this though too. On your first one, set a timeline. Give yourself about 6 months and get it done. Get it out there and then move to the next one. Because if you spend 3 years on this and it's a piece of crap, you're going to love it no matter what because you put time into it and you worked hard. I get movies, I look back, I'm like, ah. But I worked hard and I still look back, I'm like, wow, it was great experience like this gentleman right here. You guys have a question?
No, I didn't want to comment. The first film for me was also just to see if I could even make a movie.
Exactly. You did it.
And did it.
You made it, man.
That's why
Out of it was huge.
you want to get out the bad bugs in you for the first one.
'Cause you're gonna make
the first
mistakes.
one and so we promote make your bad movie. Go make your bad movie, then make your good movie, then make your better movie, and then make your great movie. Now you're established, you know the routine, you know, and you can touch on a little bit of distribution and you just make it.
Yeah.
You push the train, people will start coming on board. We started doing our first film House Guest. I put an ad out there for a writer. Alex Vincent responded. That helped the film.
Yeah. And then now we're going to start with, this is kind of the funding aspect of it. A lot of people are like, oh, where do I find funding? How do I get funding for a film? There's no one way, okay? But we're going to tell you one thing that we found that led to us getting funding, which was building trust with people, okay? And that's why we say go make your movie. That's how you start building trust. So that first gentleman that I talked about with the short film we did, Love Struck, which led to him funding House Guest. And I did not even ask him for money, okay? We built up a relationship. We became friends, and he actually acted. He wanted to, so we found out kind of what he wanted. He wanted to act in a feature film. So we're like, hey, we're making I'd love to make a feature, and we'll put you in it. I said, dude, I'm having trouble with the funding aspect. He goes, because we built trust up with him. We did a short film together. We've known each other for about a year or so. I'll put money up for it. I said, really? So we talked about a number, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then it was just like if you get somebody hands you money, go for it, you make it happen. And that's what we did, but we built trust and we added value to him, and we found something that he wanted out of it. You know, somebody might approach you and be like, I always wanted to produce a movie, and maybe, where would you say your strong suits are as a filmmaker? What's your strong suits, you'd say?
I think, oh my God, it's so funny because the one that's premiering at this festival
Uh-huh.
is, I did everything on it. I'd like to think I can
Nice.
do everything,
Uh-huh.
but part of, like, because I'm from Canada,
Okay.
part of going to the festivals in the States is to broaden my network
Okay.
outside of Canada because it's so polarized between theater and film up there.
Okay.
You either do theater or you either do film, and I want to take those two and make a connection.
And you're creating a style like that.
Yeah.
See, that's great, man. That's great. See, you're trying to combine two, and
Classics
and
film and like how can one influence the
I love it. I love it. And that's great because what's going to happen is you might create a new niche, or you might create something that's a little different that is different than the other projects, and it'll get more attention. Now what you got to do is you got to find that thing that's in that project, right? That is the hook, like they were talking about. You need like that hook to where you can use it to market your film and things like that. So that's great, man. And which led to us. One thing too in finding funding is you got to find somebody that wants to see you succeed as bad as you want to succeed. That's what I found. They've got to see something in you, like there's something in this kid, you know, there's something in this woman here, there's something in this person that I respond to and I want to help them out. So it's finding those people that will do that, and you build that relationship. Like they were saying, look for people that relationships are close. That does help out. You know, that really does.
People see it. People see.
How did you get funding for your first feature?
I did it done when I did credit cards.
You went all in, bro. I
Right.
like that.
But
You
you're
went all
committed
in.
and it shows something.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what you got to do. I really promote for your first feature, I say do everything and self-fund it. And I say do it on $1,000 because you can now. Robert Rodriguez did it for $7,000 back then with film because he knew exactly what he wanted out of it, and it was just him, and he made it happen. So I'm telling you, you guys can do it. Don't let that hold you back. Don't let those barriers stop you or an excuse stop you. Like, say, you know what? I'm going to set a plan, and I'm going to shoot it myself, whether it's probably, is it more doc style what you do?
This one is because it's partially Canadian history.
Okay.
Even though it's narrative, I'd like to say it's narrative fiction.
Okay.
Even though it's not fiction, because it's about Montreal history, Black history in Canada.
Okay.
But it's, I'm not explaining it very well right now.
It's all right.
It's
No.
a narrative short where a figure in Black Canadian history is exposed, and it pairs that with actions that are taking place in Montreal of erasing that from our history.
Okay. So you get a very targeted market then. That's good though. That's good though.
No, that's good. You want a niche market.
Because you want niche. I was talking to a gentleman. His name is John Corey, and he produced documentaries. He's produced, maybe you guys have seen it.
Forks Over Knives.
Forks Over Knives, Plant
to
Pure
help.
Nation. And he was telling me that. He was like, you find a niche. He says, I do everything niche-y. So if it's like vegan type stuff, then I can go right for that niche, you know? Like whether it's horror-based or it's a certain genre-based, you're able to hit a certain market, and that's great for marketing. Like he was saying, oh, I got a film for everybody. That's hard. That's hard to market because you don't know who to market it to. That's why we say create a brand and a market.
I will say that, like, sorry.
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
Like, CBC, producing Book of Negroes, very recently in Canada, that is like something I'm inspired for.
Okay.
Is like Lawrence Hill's book is incredible
Uh-huh.
about the African diaspora and how it moved up from Africa to New England to Canada and its influences on our history, and it's part of my history being mixed and
Yeah.
what that means to be mixed race.
Yeah.
Which everyone in this room, we all will be.
Oh,
In
yeah.
50 years, we'll all look the same. Like, we're so, right now, politically, we're so fueled by this thing that is so irrelevant. Like, being a love child of my dad is Black and my mom is white, it's like, it's not an issue.
Yeah. You got a great niche, man. You got a great niche, but I'd say go make your film, dude.
Oh, I have.
Don't
That's
wait.
what I have. And
Okay,
I'm
even the
working
feature,
on my
even the
next one.
feature, yeah, even the
Yeah.
feature. Go for the feature because you're going to be able to make money off the feature. So if you put 1,000 into it, you can put it on. You can put it on Amazon. You can put it on iTunes. You could put it on Netflix. Then all you need is to market it a little bit. So and you got a good niche. Also, I'll say, be a good person to people. People can see if you're bullshitting them and if you're full of shit. So if you don't vibe with somebody, move on. And you're not, you know, be good to people. You know, that's how you make good connections. And try to go after good relationships. You know, don't go after unhealthy relationships, volatile relationships, and go after relationships that maybe they're on a higher level than you, and you want to learn from this person. You know, it could be a mentor. That's what you want to go. You want to have good, solid relationships. And that, I promise you, that will lead to your funding. And you may not realize it at the time, but it will ultimately, those dots will start to connect because you're moving. And movement, people want to be a part of people that are moving. It's just, it's part of, they don't, somebody just standing here going like this. Oh, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do that. Just start moving. So building trust with people is one of our biggest things, which leads us to our next part, is becoming obsessed. Now, this is touchy, but you don't want to make excuses. You don't want to say, I work 10 hours a day, or I'm working 7 days a week. Then you got to put more time in if you want to do this, because all excuses are going to do is give you a reason not to do it, So become obsessed with it. And that's why I said building good habits earlier. You start building these good habits, and it's almost like you can't turn it off. You start becoming obsessed about the project and becoming better and being better. So make time for it. Don't make excuses.
So, this is,
Also, I'm going to say this too. Don't compete with others. Don't look at others and try to they're doing, especially on the local level, try to dominate that level. Try to be I'm going to be the best in the world. That's why I say setting your goals so high, they're almost sometimes unreachable. But if you land in the middle, maybe you become best in your state.
Well, the thing is, you won't. You might land in the middle, but it's still somewhere to go.
Yeah.
You're never going to stop going. You're never going to stop going. So there's this little thing. She loves it. It's called Build Your Island.
Yeah.
So this is where I don't know. Does everybody work 9 to 5? We have to make money, obviously.
No?
Okay. So you're on this thing. There's an island. This is Film Island right here. Okay. So you work 9 to 5. Okay, that's not enough. When do you get here? When do you work on your film? Well, you work on your film after, right?
Yeah.
So from on there, you want to take your little
you want to
pontoon
spend more time.
and you want to start building little things on your island. You already got this.
You're already in the city working. You're already doing your 9 to 5.
And if you get here, the more you get here and the more you build things, whether it's relationships, whether it's films,
Skills.
you just keep building until you can live here. Until you can live there.
Yeah, the little pontoon boat.
The pontoon boat, if you have to swim there,
swim there.
you swim there.
So
It sounds simple. It sounds simple, right? But you have to get here and you got to live here. You
Yeah.
have to be obsessed here. Every day, I think we talk every day. And what can we do to become better?
Yeah.
What can we do to live on here longer and build this bigger? How can we build Jalbert Brothers here in Florida? Most people want Hollywood to come here.
Tampa.
We're from Tampa.
Yeah.
Our goal is to build a studio in Tampa, a Warner Brothers, a Jalbert Brothers in Tampa. Nobody's going to come unless you build it. You have to build it. Don't complain that it's not coming here, because there's nothing to come to. Why? They're not going to come here. There's no reason for them to come here. So build it here, and it's going to take a long time. But the more you get over to this island and work, you'll build that thing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So build your island. How many of you guys are working on projects right now? Okay, cool. Are they in script development? Where are they at? Treatment. Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about the process that we use when building a project. And I'm talking to people that, that are just maybe their first feature. One of the biggest thing is don't overcomplicate the process, because what you'll do is you'll psych yourself out. You will. He had it right when he said, I want to see if I can do it. Like, that's kind of the attitude you want to have. I want to see if I can do this. I want to go make a feature. Especially you guys, right? How old are you guys? 18, 17. You guys are perfect age. You guys got no ties, no responsibilities.
You don't have any kids, right? See, you're perfect. You can go get a T3i and 2 lenses, and you can go film a movie in your bedroom.
And it may not be perfect, yeah.
There's nothing. Well, you have to. Film is creative, right? It's artsy. It's creative. Get creative in that small space. You can make a guy at a laptop at a desk. You can make a 90. Who has seen Buried? The movie Buried.
Oh,
No.
the Netflix one?
Buried with Ryan Reynolds. Right? You guys haven't seen Buried?
No?
the whole
You have to
film.
watch it.
He's in a
Yeah.
casket,
Oh, okay. no.
Buried.
Buried, yeah.
Did I say it wrong?
I thought you were saying dairy.
Buried.
Brothel, Mama Bear.
Oh yeah, no. So he's in this box. He's just in this box. The whole film he's in this box. He's just in a box. So why couldn't you make a movie where he's sitting at a laptop? That's all you need. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
You just have to make the film.
Yeah. Don't
Then
overcomplicate
things will
it.
move because I'm like, hey, this guy made a film. Did you make a full film, a feature film, and it's on Amazon? Because you can put it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And you have a film that you're making money on.
You could put it on Netflix,
It's that simple. It's that simple.
iTunes. You can start making money off, especially if you guys just go out and make it. It may not be perfect. And that's the biggest thing we say is your first one's not going to be perfect, no matter how you look at it. You know, the only way it would be perfect is if you somehow get multi-millions of dollars to work with, say you're a writer and a big director like that, like, I don't know, Michael Bay, Spielberg picks it up. Then it's going to be at a certain level. But we're talking to people that don't wait for that, like, because that could take, that's going to take too long. I'll tell you that right now. You could spend 20 years doing that, waiting for somebody to come along and save you. It's almost like being like the island we're talking about. You know, you're just stuck on this island. I'm going to wait here for someone to save me. You
Build
might
a
want
boat
to build
and get
a
off the
boat or a
island.
raft to get off
You
the
know what I mean?
island. That's when you want to get off the island. So get an idea, start developing the script like you guys do and get the treatment. Keep it simplistic. If you're doing doc style, it's a little different, so you can just go out and kind of, you know, make it as you go, and that's great. But if you're doing like a feature, I suggest keep it in 1 to 2 locations. Keep it to maybe like 1 or 2 actors, and keep it simplistic. That's what when we shot our first feature, we shot it in 2 locations, and there was like, I think like 5 actors. So it was just simplistic. And we got offers, and then we'll get into distribution later. I got offers for it, but they didn't want to give you anything. Even with Alex Vincent on it, who was a child star, but still, they want to just take your movie, and okay, we're going to take your movie, and we're going to get first money out. You're going to get money last. Well, how does that work? I got the funding. Like, why are you guys getting the money first?
Yeah.
But they're about their business. And that's when you guys start realizing it's a business with all the digital platforms now. You're better off making the movie simplistic. And then what that shows too is you make it and you get it on those platforms, you start building a resume. People go, oh, what have you done? Oh, well, I got a movie right now on Amazon. Oh, really? Oh, go check it out. If you go, well, I got a couple ideas. Oh, okay, see you later. You know, I'm just being real. That's, even as a producer, that's how I think. If somebody goes to me and said, oh, I just worked with, I just did this movie with this child star Alex Vincent, it's on Amazon. All right, I'll check it out. You know, and just see what it's about and see the person and see what they do and find out more about them. But I would say don't overcomplicate it. Get the idea, get the script, keep it simplistic, make it cool if you can. Try to figure out how to make it cool. I'd say go do it yourself. You know, if you got the cameras and stuff like this, Jim right here, if you got the cameras and sound, just go make it like, you know, because what's going to happen, it's going to stretch you. So instead of doing, that's why I say don't be careful with the short films. You'll stretch yourself with the feature films because it's almost like working out. So if you go in the gym and you just go in there and go, you know, one weight, and then you just go over to the treadmill and you walk for like 2 minutes. Now I'm done, I'm out of here. You really didn't stretch yourself. But if you just lift heavy, even though you can't do it, even though you're struggling, like you're going to build. You know, you're going to get stronger. And so every time you do it, you get better and bigger, and you get stronger. Like a movie, Bigger, Stronger, Faster. What's that? You guys ever see that, Doc? But same thing. It's just building the muscles, but you're building it in film.
Yeah, because if you do a short film, like, well, I don't know if I'm ready for a feature film. Probably not. You probably don't feel ready for a feature film. It's not as hard as you think if you keep it simple.
Yeah.
If you do a short film, you still can't do a feature. You can't. It's not a feature film. You look more promising with a feature film. I've done a 90-minute feature film opposed to a 10-minute short film. Most people don't have a feature film. I think there's one guy in the room that has a feature film. So he looks more credible with the feature film. You don't look as credible with the short film. I'm not knocking short films.
You can sell it. And you can sell. That's one thing too. You can make the because our biggest thing is you got to get the investors back, or the investors' money back. That's important because they're never going to work with you again. That's why I say building trust with people. If you take their money, you make this movie, and then they never see their money again, and you go, hey, I got another movie. They're going to be like, what about the last one? You know, I still haven't seen a dime from it. So it's one of those things where you got to think business. So what we did is we got these deals offers, and they kept throwing crap at, oh, we're gonna do, 60-40 split, and we're gonna take the movie and we're gonna do this with it. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right, dude. So I said, okay. So what we did is we rented out a theater, right? It's like $250. We got sponsors to sponsor the whole event. We got 10 sponsors, right? So we were already making money with just the sponsors. We were making the money. Then we pre-sold tickets, right? And then we had a big premiere for the actors. Man, people were just having, the video is actually online. You can see it if you guys want to check it out. House guest Alex Vincent or Jalbert Brothers or whatever. It was simple, but we wanted to give the actors that experience. Like, we thought that'd be cool. Like, walk the red carpet. You got, they get to interview. We had our cameras set up like we got now, but they were interviewed by, I think your ex, his ex. But it was cool. We had a good time. But that's what I say. So do the premiere, you make your money back, right? Then you can do your own VOD on demand. You find your niche market. This guy got a little niche market, so you find that niche market. You can literally, a little bit of social media. Jake's more expert in that stuff, more of an expert in that stuff. But you can target your audience on social media directly with your trailer. And then it'll jump, or from your trailer, it can go, you can have it straight to, I think, the landing page, to where they can actually go to like Amazon or anything like that and get it. So these are some of the options you want to keep in mind. Don't just be pigeonholed or limited and say, well, I'm just going to give it up to this distributor. Like they were saying, like 10-year contract. And then it's just sitting there for 10 years doing nothing. And you're just like, man, I never even got to show my movie, or nobody can see it.
It's super simple if you break it down. So if this is the thing, you should invest in your first project, because if you can't invest in yourself, why would anybody else want to invest in you for your project if you can't invest the money? He invested the money, his own money. Like, that's big, dude. That's huge.
That shows commitment. To
whether
me,
it's right or wrong, you did it. His train's moving. Boom. Figure out the next step later. Super simple. Invest the money yourself. I don't want the money. Okay. Well, how do you work and make the money? Work, save the money, whether it's $500 or $1,000. You can barter with other camera guys, like this guy back here. He's a camera operator. So what does he want? And what can you give him? What can he give you? How can you like team up and barter?
Yeah.
That's another good way to do it. And get your film done. Editing program, $500,000. Keep it super simple. Keep it in your bedroom if you have to. Each day you wake up after you come home from work, film a scene, and then put it on Amazon. You're making money.
Yeah.
Then promote it. It's that simple. Yeah. And then keep expanding, which we'll talk about.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the biggest things I think in this whole thing, we can sit here and talk all day. Like, we can just talk about things all day and have meetings and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Nothing happens until you take action. Literally, nothing happens. You can talk all day. If nobody takes that ball and runs with it, then you're not going to see any results. So I feel the biggest thing is you got to start taking action. You have to. You got to start moving forward. And there's no secret. Like, there's no secret to this. There's 7. There are secrets, but we call them steps at this point. We had secrets, but there's no like magical thing. It's just building. It's building, dude. It's all it is.
Maybe that's the secret, that there is no secret, right?
There is no secret, but there is secrets.
Because what we learned was we went and just made our first film. We just wanted to make a film. We didn't care if it was really that good.
Yeah.
We just wanted to go make it. You guys feel free to watch it, and you guys tell me what you think. I think it's pretty good. I'm sure you guys would like it. I mean, I know they'll like the beginning of it.
Yeah, they will like the beginning of it.
So
one of our biggest things too is that's why we said start small but think big. So have that option. You might be that one person like Robert Rodriguez that goes out and makes it, and then you end up hitting the festival circuit and it's winning and you're getting a lot of attention. But that's like winning the lottery, right? I mean, there's how many, oh man, I don't even know the number on how many films are made. I think it's like 5,000 films are made a year, features. I think, yeah, just in the U.S., I think. I can only imagine the world. So now imagine all those getting submitted. It's like everybody's going through one funnel. Not everybody's going to get in.
Okay, so this, yeah, we'll do.
You know, there might be a select few. There might be a select few, but not everybody's going to get in. Also, you'll find that people will start opening up doors maybe for you. You know, don't be scared to walk through the doors that get opened for you. You know, if somebody offers you something or tries to help you in a certain way, like, don't let fear stop you. Like, just go do it. And one of the things I'll talk about is the Burt Reynolds movie that came to me. I had this connection that I worked on for about 2 years with this producer, and I stayed in contact, and I kind of just built a little bit of a relationship up. And I had contacted her about a movie, but she wasn't interested. But she asked me, she was looking for a first AD for this project, and do I know any? I'd never first AD'd before, all about my own stuff, right? I was like, yeah, me, I'll do it. You know, I'm like, shit, you know, I want to work with her, you know? So I was like, shit, I'll do it, you know? I'll figure it out. How hard can it be? It's tough, but at the same time, commit and figure it out later. Like, commit to what you're doing and then figure it out. It's almost like, you know, there's a female you want to talk to or a male, and you just sitting here playing this game, and you never at least go try. You know, you gotta take the step. You gotta move forward. So she said, I said yes, I'm in. But the one thing I was saying to myself, I was like, I want to be a producer on this as well. You know, so I'm like, start working, breaking down the script. I read some books on first AD and watch some videos and say, okay, because I kind of did it on my other projects. I just didn't really know what a first AD was that well. I had an idea, but I didn't know exactly, especially on a set like that. You're working with Burt Reynolds and you're working with A-list actors and you're working with, you know, big talent that you got to follow certain rules. It was intimidating. So I said, all right, cool. So I read the book. I forget the name of the book, but it was a first AD book, and just started getting the knowledge, breaking down the script. Now, mind you, she never offered any pay yet. I mean, I knew I'd get paid, but no commitment on any of that. I just committed and went for it. I didn't let fear stop me. So the door was open. I walked in, you know, and I said, I'm not going to settle for just a first AD credit. So, which led to me saying, hey, what do I got to do to be a producer on this as well? She gave me a long list. I said, all right, shit, I got even more to do. So I started doing, I was like, I'll do it. So I just started doing more. I started taking on as much as I can because I wanted the producer credit. I wanted to work with her, and that's what I did. So ultimately, when those doors open, just don't be scared to walk through. Don't think, oh, I can't do this, or don't second guess yourself. You know, a lot of people second guess themselves. I don't know if I can do this, man. It's like, that's intense, but if you commit and make it happen, fear is just our brain trying to stop us from getting hurt, basically. So if you just roll with it, a lot of times your brain makes it more fearful than it really is. So yeah, when the door opens, walk through it.
Walk through it.
Walk through it.
Walk through that door. Where we at?
Huh? No.
Be patiently patient, is that right?
Yeah.
All right, so you got to be patiently impatient. So what you need to do, you got to be patient because this game is a long game.
Yeah, you're thinking 10 years. You're not thinking before you make it anywhere on a decent level. It's probably going to take you 10 years. You guys heard Sean Baker? You hear Sean Baker? He did a film on the iPhone, and a lot of people think he's an overnight success. This dude was in the game for 20 years, chasing his love. And he's very artsy, and he made a movie called Tangerine. Yeah, that made some noise in Sundance. So understand that if you're in this game, for the most part, it's going to be a long haul. So gear up for that, you know?
So be patient, but be impatient. Every day, working on it every day. I'm like, how do I get this sooner, quicker? Just keep banging the door down every day, but know that you're going to be banging on the door for the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what you're going to be doing. We've come to terms with that. So that's why build skills.
Yeah, building your
Let me go
skills,
back to this.
building your knowledge, getting connections, finding good people to work with, that's important. So you want to move on to the last part of this?
We'll have a bonus
we'll
one.
take
We have a
questions.
bonus one at the end,
Yeah. So basically, the last part of this is so you followed all these steps. You made your first feature film, right? We're going to say you want to repeat and expand. So you want to keep doing this, and you want to keep building out. So he made his first feature. How long ago was that?
20 years ago.
Oh, wow. How come you haven't done it since?
I've done short films and music videos and been playing around with film, video stuff, and photography.
Okay. Okay, so you're trying to do it really, really big.
So
Okay.
you see how these circles are? You've done all this. You've completed the circle. So you're in it for 10, 20 years. You want to do it again.
Yeah.
So everything expands. You want a bigger mindset. You want to invest more in yourself. You want to build more trust, become more obsessed, build a bigger project, take way more action, and just keep it going.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're doing.
And it's working. So say on your second one now, okay, say you did your first one and you had no name actors. Second one, I want to get a name actor in it. So that's expanding out. And what you're going to do is you're going to get better. So each film's going to get better and better as you go. You know?
We did House Guests. We got, you can call it luck. I guess we got the child star Alex Vincent. He responded to our post. We did that movie. Now we're like, okay, we want resume actors. I want good actors for our next film. I want good actors. And then we met a veteran actor, Michael Milhoen, who's been in the game 20 years. He's retired, but we pulled him out of retirement. We're still friends with him. It's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
We built trust with him. He's willing to put his neck on the line for us because we built that trust. So we have about 5 or 6, I think it's like 3 to 5 SAG actors on there that are great actors.
Yeah.
It's called 10 Seconds to Run. It's a TV pilot it's free on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, if you guys want to check it out.
So we expanded, and then the next movie we did,
Which was Apple of My Eye that we got to work on, which Burt Reynolds and Amy part. So it's one of those things where each one becomes an expansion. Like I said, start with the doghouse, shed, garage, house, then you could build up to like these things, because I feel like you're almost like trying to step in. You guys ever watch Fast and Furious? You can't just step in the ring with Ali because you think you could box, right? I mean, that's what he says. It's straight up. It's the truth. You can't, you're not going to, especially if you're directing. Now, if you surround yourself with people and you got that budget and you surround yourself with all these veterans, you got a shot, yeah. But that's a lot of faith that they're taking on somebody that never made anything, So that's why we say when you get one, do another one, keep building, because it may only take you 2 films to get your big film. It may take you, I think Sean did like 5 to get Tangerine, which led to him just doing the Florida project, which we knew some people that were shot on there, but he did that actually in Orlando. It was called the Florida project. That led to his shot. I think William Dafoe was in it and stuff like that. So, just keep expanding that circle. It's almost like a ripple. Once you drop that thing in the pond, keep developing yourselves. Keep building. You're going to get
because with
bigger and
that,
better.
it's hard to knock that over. I can
Yeah.
run camera, I can direct, I can edit, I can shoot a whole film by myself. I don't need anybody. I can shoot a film by myself. If people want to come on board, cool. I don't need you. I can shoot a whole film by myself. I have my phone running right now. We're running live, Facebook Live. We're on us. We're running live.
That's what we call marketing and branding too.
I
We're trying to
just
market and
spent
brand ourselves.
$1,000 on a marketing program. Boom, get more knowledge.
So,
He
what's the
went-
last step? You want to talk about the last step?
Just have fun. I mean,
Yeah.
just have fun.
I mean, that's ultimately why we're in it too. We're in it to have fun. So if you're not having fun anymore, it becomes almost like a 9 to 5, and then you're just like, I'm tired of this shit. I don't want to do this anymore. So have fun when you're doing it. That's why we say go out and make your first one yourself, because that's going to be the most fun. I guarantee you that will be your most fun you have on a project, because there's no producer telling you to change this. There's no, just trying to put their own stamp on it, or a distributor telling you to take this out because it doesn't quite fit with the audience. Just go make it yourself. You'll have the most fun at that point in time.
Especially you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are so young, dude. Do you have any cameras at all?
Most of the stuff I do is on my phone.
Perfect. That's
You
fine.
can do it. You can make a movie on Snapchat. You know what I mean? You could. I thought about it. That's a great idea.
Yeah, you shot on iPhone. So any questions? I want to do some question and answers if you guys got any questions for us. Okay.
Distribution deals ever get any better, or have you always done VOD?
The last one, Apple of My Eye, which we worked on the producer on, got picked up by Sony. So, yeah, they're out there. But I'm telling you right now, it's got to be niche-y. The movie had a pony in it that was this high, and it was for kids, family friendly. So, if you're going to make an artsy film that has maybe like a select audience, or it's going to be hard to market, you're going to have a tough time. You're better off self-distributing.
Yeah, you can self-distribute. Amazon, iTunes, you can pay to get on them.
Yeah. I suggest doing that, because that's where the money comes in, dude. A distributor is going to, for the most part, unless you got name talent on it, or you built up an email list, or you built up a huge audience, for a lot of times they're just going to say, well, yeah, we're taking a chance on this, so this is the deal we'll do, and you're not going to get no money up front.
So,
But it's always worth the try. So my thing would be to you would be this: when you get your film done, right? Don't immediately throw it on Amazon. Don't immediately throw it that way. Talk to a few distributors. I wouldn't say hit the festival circuit yet. I would hit 10 festivals. No, I would hit the top, maybe the top 5. You know, you're talking Cannes, Tribeca, all that. Hit the top 5 that you can find. Submit to those. If you get in, you're good. So don't put it out anywhere. If you don't, then I would start talking to distributors. Have a screener ready, you know, have it watermarked and all that. Have your trailer, have a press kit, you know, have all that stuff ready to go. And then you send it to the distributors and you see what they're willing to give you on it. You know, if they're going to give you money, by all means, don't turn down the money, you know, and don't kill your options. Give yourself options. So start at the top, but like we did, we couldn't they wanted to just take our movie and then we're left not paying our investors back. Well, it was a friend of mine. I don't want to do that. So how can I reorganize this to make the money back and think as a business? You know, so I'm like, okay, let's do a premiere. We'll put on this big show. We'll do some sponsors and we'll sell tickets at the door. And we'll give actors free access and just have a fun night. And then we'll do DVD and VOD and sell it ourselves. And that's what we did. So that would be my suggestion to you, man. Start at the top. If you can get in at the top, it might only take, that's what I'm saying, it may only take you one film. You may be that Robert Rodriguez, that one film that gets you in, because your art is just that good. But at the same time, you may not. So just give yourself options.
What do you do then? So have a backup plan, but have a good backup plan. So I'm a distributor. We've always hit these roadblocks. Boom, hit the roadblock. All right, what do we do now? Whatever, we'll self-distribute ourselves. First film, we self-distribute ourselves. Yeah. Our second one, we met a guy that had about 50,000 fans on his Facebook. He's a horror blog. When we did our first film, we kept in contact. We're still friends with him. We still work with him.
He's got like over 1 million.
So now he has
over
$1 million fans. We just put out a film called 10 Seconds to Run. I think over 400,000 people seen the trailer.
Yeah.
We
and
have
then a
40
conversion
reviews.
down to Amazon Prime and all that.
Nobody owns it. We own it.
Yeah.
We don't have. We make money off it every month.
Yeah.
Through Amazon Prime. It's free. You guys can go watch it for free.
Yeah. So support us.
So
help our island grow.
That's key, you know. We're still building. We're still doing. We're practicing what we preach. I still invest in myself. We spend money. You got to be willing to spend money on yourself. Yeah. You have to be willing to invest your own money in your first film. It's not a lot.
Dude, you guys could probably do it you probably get away with nothing.
You can do it for
just
nothing.
say some student films, you know, you'll get in accesses. Also, film commission, guys, if you need a couple locations, I would say keep it simple, but if you do decide to expand out, like this gentleman running our camera back here, if you do decide to expand out, talk to your film commissions and tell them what you're doing, and they'll help you get free locations and permit. Huh? Perfect. You guys are already on the bandwagon. I like that.
But, you know, we say keep it small. Just shoot it in your room. Just get it done. Yeah. Get it done as quick as possible and get that one out the way.
Because you'll get better.
Yeah, and then you can get better actors from there and you keep going.
We had another question, too.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I'm an inspiring director. I've always wanted in the business.
Okay.
The only thing that's holding me back is just writing an idea and trying to write it down because I think writing is not my thing, but I am trying to get into it. It's just hard to...
You know what?
I got a perfect thing. This lady right here, she's a writer.
See,
now you guys can barter with each other.
I invite all of you. I'm the winning screenplay writer for tomorrow, Sunday at 10 o'clock. It will be acted here by the professionals.
So, I mean, the thing is, find people like her that maybe you have compatibility with, that you guys are kind of on the same page.
Well, this is the thing, because we're not writers either.
Yeah, we're not writers.
I direct, he mainly produces, we direct together. I'm a DP. I don't write. But that's the thing. So this is what I would say. Come up with an idea you like. Say, I want to do this. You know, we're telling you keep it simple. You can do that or you cannot.
That's the hard part, is finding a good idea that you can shoot in, say, Florida.
But remember, don't overthink it.
Yeah, it's...
Anybody can... Where do you live? Do you live in a house, apartment?
Townhouse.
Okay, perfect. So come up with a story that a guy that lives in a townhouse, and for whatever reason, maybe he's getting evicted. I mean, and you create drama
We can
within a character.
We can all come up with a story right now for you. It's easy. Don't, like you said, do not overthink it. We run into this a lot.
It's
You're
not going to be perfect.
Your first
for your
movie's not
first
going to be
one.
maybe the one you really want to do, but you got to get one under your belt. We ultimately haven't done the movie we want to do.
Yeah.
We will. Like our movie we want to do, you know.
We still have fun though making it.
We
though.
still have fun and we
Yeah.
and we love producing. So shoot a movie, you know, I have my bedroom, I have my living room, I can shoot a little bit outside. Then you don't have to worry about, you have a location. You don't have to worry about finding locations. You got to think logistics, catering, all that stuff. Keep it simple.
Those things come into play.
Like-
Also, guys, I hear this all the time too. Take care of your actors. Please have food on set. Food on set. Food on set. You can treat people well. If you can pay for their gas, pay for their gas. I know at first a lot of times, especially if we're working on like such a small budget, you're finding people that are doing it for credit and stuff like that, which you can find easily. But take care of them a little bit, you know.
And I want to say something for him again.
What was it about the script?
No, because I can tell he's struggling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, find a story you like that's okay with you.
What do you like to watch?
Science fiction, you know? But I
Okay.
mean, that's like too out of reach with there. I want something like, no.
Is it though?
But-
You got to get. The thing
okay.
is, you got to get creative though. So when the guy's in a box and they're filming a whole movie and it's a box, what do you do? How do you become? You become a way creative director. You become way better, dude. That you got to like do these close-ups, these dollies. You got to figure out how to do cool stuff.
Yeah.
But do it within your means. Don't do it out of your means. You keep it in your bedroom. You have sound issues. There's so many factors, dude. Trust me, you keep it simple, and then you can expand out later on top of what you're doing.
Now, as far as science fiction goes, try to come up with a story to where you don't have to show the science fiction aspect of it, but it's still science fiction, if that makes sense. I think there's a couple movies that do that. 10-Field Cloverfield Lane took it, you know, they did it a lot bigger, where they actually showed it at the end. But it was contained.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was kind of cool.
They had another
Less is
one
more.
with the guy from, with Topanga, Boy Meets World.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Well, there's one. You ever seen Boy Meets World?
Yes.
Okay, so the guy that had with the dark hair,
Yeah.
there was a movie, if you look him up, it was like an alien movie that they did kind of the same thing. So try to figure out, okay, and don't overthink it. Like, be careful with the effects and all that stuff, but don't overthink it too much to where you're like, oh, well, I want to make it perfect. Find a concept idea, network with her. You guys work out a script, shoot
So
it.
she wants something, you want something. So we're actually planning a movie this summer. This is what I said to the guy. This is exactly what I laid out to him. We're still doing this. We have funding. We're going to fund it ourselves. You know what I mean? So I said, I want a table. I want actor. That's the movie. He's like, what? I don't know how I'm gonna write this. He's freaking out. I don't know how I'm gonna write this. I said, dude. Then that's when the wheels start turning. All right, they gotta have backstories. They got backstories. Boom, you put backstories. Have you ever seen 9 Dead? It's not a popular movie. Look it up.
Probably not.
9 Dead.
Hitchcock was popular at doing this type of thing. Lifeboat, which, you know, you're more budget, but if you think that same concept, Rear Window, things like that, if you think that concept, how can I get creative in a confined space, still simplistic, but a good story? I guarantee you people will like it.
Yeah, he realized that. He's like, I didn't even think I could do this. He's like, oh wow, this was cool. I actually wrote a script around, you know.
Yeah.
So you want to keep it 80% in one location, and then do 20% in another location. That 20% you shoot in one day. The other one you shoot, so you can make that your beginning hook.
Yeah.
But you will build stuff off of this. You will find a way.
You can put a gun.
You can
You
put.
can. That
I love it.
spins.
That spins.
Like a Russian roulette
Boom.
type of game.
But if you have good actors, and if you don't have actors as good actors, you make it anyways.
Yeah.
But that's the concept that we did, and we're like, and now it developed into something bigger, and we plan on funding it ourselves. And if people come on board, they want to come on board, then cool.
Yeah.
We'll make it bigger. If they don't, then we already have distribution outlet.
Now with
From
our
there.
expansion on it is actors, right? Because ultimately that sells the movie. So what you want to do is, if we're keeping it simplistic on this aspect, we want the actors that are going to be able to be on screen and pull it off. So we're working with trying to get a few names on it. So that's kind of our 2 cents, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Any other questions before we go? Ask him now. One more from this guy.
Compare dealing with distributor versus DoD. Is the legal side simplified on DoD and the technical side simplified on DoD, or is it about the
To be honest with you, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't give you that type of aspect, but I will say this. I've had no legal issues with VOD, where I probably would have through a distributor, because you got to supply them with more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's.
The deliverables, dude, I've heard stories where they'll say, well, we'll give you a $50,000 sign-in bonus, sign here, and then they send you a deliverable list that costs $100,000 to deliver. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you start small, you build up, and you learn these things throughout the process.
Yeah.
Now you know how to make a feature film, and you made another one. Now you have traction. You've met new people. Boom, you're building your plate. We have a camera guy now who films for us. That's my camera. Just boom, you just
Try to be self-contained.
In the next 6 months, you guys should. If you guys haven't made a movie, you should make a movie in the next 6 months. Our movie house gets our first one from script to premiere was 6 months. I mean, why stretch it out to 3 years, which we've seen people do?
Yeah. Be careful. Just be careful.
I mean,
Yeah, with spending too much time on something and thinking it's gonna, like I said though, you may be that one that has the right idea at the right time, like Tangerine, but he spent 20 years and he just came in with the right hook and the right idea at the right time. You know, iPhones, and he had to do it for a reason. He had to shoot it on the iPhone for a reason, because I guess the budget constraints. He couldn't afford getting Alexa or Red.
constraints.
Yeah, it's always budget, right?
Everything's dwindling down to lower budget. Big crew is dwindling down to small budget.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Distribution platforms changing. Forget what they're doing. Focus on what
Yeah.
you're doing and build your own empire up.
Yeah,
You
forget the
can't,
old
you can't
model.
get beat that way. You're gonna get burned up here. You might win. I'm not saying you can win, but you might get burned up. If you build your own empire up and have
Yeah.
fun doing it,
Are you guys trying to shoot for bigger stuff in the future?
yeah,
Oh
of
yeah,
course.
every time. Like we talked about earlier, we want to own a studio. Our ultimate goal is to build a studio with backlots and get it to a point where they'll come to us. People want to come film at our plays. You know what I'm saying? So you want to set, like we were saying earlier, you want to set your goals high, but
Do you
you want to
guys-
start small but think big, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I don't mind starting.
No, keep yelling
I
up.
just haven't found my spot yet or my opportunity yet.
Talk to her. She'll come up with
What's
some
up?
ideas. You guys come up with some ideas yet?
What'd you say?
I want to go big. I don't mind starting small. I just haven't found my starting point to get there. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's like I've got like much work where
Yeah.
I'm getting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you guys, we got a sheet right there if you guys want to be on our VIP list. We send a lot of free videos. We do stuff on YouTube and stuff like that. So if you guys
If you
wanna stay in
projects,
contact with
if you want to
us,
send us stuff, feel free to send us stuff. Definitely
sign up on our email
build trust
list.
with us, for sure. You know what I mean? Keep in touch. Maybe we
It's
can
a pleasure
eventually work
meeting you
together.
guys.
So,
Yep, you got it. Thank you.
thank you so much, guys.